Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, Bob?
Doing fine, Joseph. How are you?
Fantastic.
Good.
Sarah, where are you calling in from today?
I'm calling in from Baltimore.
Gosh.
Wow, this is
East Coast is well represented here. I like it. Then let's begin. We had about 23 people register for the webinar, and we love these because we get a chance to do them once every 2 weeks, and sometimes we have 23 people show up, and sometimes we have a wonderfully focused conversation for the both of you fine folks. So we love it. So I'll share with you just a little bit about EmoryDay, and then I'll introduce our amazing presenter today. So my name's Joe Japp. We're EmoryDay. We've been growing businesses for the longest time. We like to think we're the best of professionals, technology, and AI. 20 years. It's amazing. It just goes by like that. We do full service marketing. So we use the best of everything that's digital, from local search to account-based marketing, social media, email, e-commerce, content, pay-per-click. Today, you'll find us doing a tremendous amount in video. Actually, a little bit of a statistic that this time next year, 80% of all the ones and the zeros going across the internet, the interwebs, as one of our presidents called, will be short form video. And that's how much our humanity is being tuned into video. We have 50 US based team members. We have lead generation platforms. We've served thousands of clients. And one of the things that we really want to do is invest our time and energy to you, helping you become better at this thing called digital marketing, share some ideas with you. Obviously, our mission is to grow businesses cost effectively using comprehensive marketing to generate that traffic, which converts to customers. If this is something that you want to discuss with us, we would love to, because we help businesses thrive. We're most comfortable when we are doubling revenues, tripling revenues, creating 200 new leads, a 50% increase. It's kind of our thing. We're junkies for a growing business. And with that, one last slide, I think. We've got this amazing AI-powered dashboard. If we get a chance, we always like to have a wonderful presentation so we can honor the time that you're bringing to us and joining us for. And then we like to drop into kind of a Q&A phase where we just have an open discussion, solve any problems you want to bring to the tables. This is kind of a safe space for a great conversation. And we've had some very amazingly productive discussions at the end of these. So with that, I'm going to introduce your host today. Anne-Marie Werner is our director of marketing. She is a fantastically gifted individual. I've had the privilege and pleasure of working together with almost near a decade. And every day she impresses me on what she does with our clients. So she's got some wonderful things to share with you. Anne-Marie, why don't you take us in?
I will. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that, Joe. So welcome. You're here because you want to learn more about more conversions from the traffic you're already getting. And the answer isn't only advertise more. So what we're going to go over today is we'll talk about why most offers fall flat, the 3 ingredients of a high converting offer, how to add urgency, scarcity, and risk reversal. I'm going to give you a few real world examples, and we're going to talk about how to test, tweak, and scale offers. And this principle applies to any brand that wants to turn attention into action. So why most offers fall flat? Let's start with the hard truth. Most offers don't fall flat because your products or services aren't good or because people aren't interested. They fall flat because they're just too vague, too safe, too self-centered. They sound like get in touch, learn more, or schedule a call, but they don't tell the customer what's in it for them right now. So a weak offer fails to speak to a specific problem. It doesn't have any urgency. It doesn't lower the customer's sense of risk. And often The biggest issue is the offer was built around what we want to sell, what we want to tell them, not what the customer is already looking for. So once we fix that, and we're going to go over that today, you're going to see exactly how to structure offers that get people to say yes faster. So they're not. So we're going to go through this. I have a couple more slides for you. So stay with me here. So this is the foundation of everything we're covering today. We call it the 3S formula. And every high converting offer, we essentials. First, it's to solve a specific problem. Not we help businesses grow or we offer a great service. You need to call out a pain point for your ideal customer that they will immediately recognize as their own. Next, we want to make sure that it's for a specific person. Broad offers don't convert. The more targeted you get by role, industry, or life stage, the more the offer feels personal, more likely they're going to engage. And third, you have to present a specific way that you're going to solve that problem. This could be your unique method, your guarantee, your pricing model, whatever makes your approach distinct. So you get these three right, and your offer becomes more than a message, it becomes a magnet. So when your offer is solid, you can add a layer of persuasion by using urgency, scarcity, and risk reversal. But it has to be done right. Otherwise, it's going to feel like hype. People are going to be able to see through it. So let's start with urgency. This is about giving your audience a reason to act now. You don't need to fake countdown timers. What you need is a real reason why timing matters, like a limited time bonus, a seasonal incentive, a capacity window. For example, get the free upgrade if you book before Friday. Next is scarcity. This is about why your offer isn't available to everyone all the time. It might be limited by how many clients you can onboard, how many inventory units you have, or where you're licensed to serve. That makes the offer more valuable because it's not always available. And then finally, risk reversal. This is your safety net. It answers the buyer's biggest fear. What if this doesn't work? You diffuse that fear with things like cancel anytime, no upfront fees, or try us for 30 days. When you combine these with the 3S structure, it doesn't feel like a pitch. It feels more like a smart decision that the user needs to make quickly. And that's how we convert attention into action. So I'm going to bring you into a few real world examples. The first one is Securico Life. Their offer succeeded because it spoke to a very frustrated audience, final expense agents. So the details were up to 145% commissions, qualified agent leads delivered regularly, no startup fees, no quotas, no micromanaging, fast onboarding with real training and back-end support. And the results were amazing. In the 200 qualified agent leads in 30 days. 40 new agents onboarded. That was a 1,333% increase. It was just an amazing, absolutely amazing campaign. And we did a meta ad for these, so Facebook and Instagram. And it was very simple. We called it out, sick of cold leads, low comp and quotas. Join a team that pays better, supports you, and helps you actually grow. Our headline was simple, no quotas, no fees, just real support. Our description called out the big thing, up to 145% compensation. And our call to action was get higher comp now. Now, why it worked. I'm going to break that down for you. So the specific problem was agents were stuck cold calling, earning low commissions, getting no support, and constantly being pushed to hit quotas. That is a real burnout in that industry. It's widespread. The specific person we targeted was the experienced or independent agent who knows the grind and is ready for something that actually works for them, not against them. And the specific way Securico answered that was with a real offer, top commissions, 145%, qualified leads, zero startup fees, and no pressure team environment. They could onboard fast, get real training, and finally focus on closing, not chasing. What made it irresistible is that it stacked relief after relief. It didn't promise any hype, it just promised a better way to work, and that resonated. The results were massive. 200 plus qualified leads, again, in 30 days, and 40 new agents were onboarded. So one of the things I like to note about this particular client is when they came on board, they had 3 agents. That's it, 3 agents representing their product. After 1 month, they had 40 agents. It was an amazing, amazing campaign. So that's one example of how having a great offer really worked for them. The next one is AFI, is for military families. It's insurance. What makes the offer irresistible is it's simple. It's credible. We know your life. We built this for you. Flexible insurance, tailored to military, seamless transitions during moves and deployments, personalized coverage, and backed by 135 years. They've been doing this for a long time. Military first service from people who understand your lifestyle. What were the results? That message wasn't just heard, it was felt, right? It led to 1.6 million impressions. 1.6 million impressions. A 99% video completion rate. And most importantly, they got a lift in their quote starts from families who finally felt seen and understood. So how did this break down with the 3S breakdown, right? The specific problem was clear. Traditional insurance models don't work for military families. They are constantly moving, PCS orders, deployments, new housing situations, and it's a logistical nightmare to keep coverage consistent. The specific person that we focused on was active duty family who's either about to move or already in motion. They're looking for stability in a world that constantly shifts. And the specific way AFI addressed this was by offering portable homeowners insurance that's made for this lifestyle. It's reliable, it's transferable, and it's mission aligned. So it's backed by a brand with 135 years of service to the military. The offer works because it removes the biggest source of friction, uncertainty. It's not just insurance, it's insurance that travels with you. And they establish the trust and the emotional exclusivity with their military-only positioning. And my last example is the Shingle Master. This is a great example of the 3S formula applied to home services businesses. And it shows how clarity and empathy outperform hard selling. So what made it irresistible was the combination of value, which you'll see. So it had value for the $450 upgrade, trust, the certification and warranty, and a tone, no pressure. It made people just feel safe and respected. The results, they cut their cost per lead by 38%. They reduced their overall ad spend by 11, almost 12%. And they saw higher quality leads come in, so they experienced better close rates. And when we break this one down, how the 3S worked, the specific problem was that most homeowners have been burned, or someone they know has been burned by a high pressure roof sales. They go door to door, or they have nightmare stories of terrible jobs being done or the job being barely done. So that's created skepticism in the entire industry, and it slows down your buying decision. The specific person that we targeted was homeowners who were actively researching roof replacement options, but they were hesitant to reach out because they didn't want to be sold. And the specific way the Shingle Master responded was credible, confidence boosting offer, a GAF or a GAF certified roof install, lifetime warranty, and a valuable free upgrade, but no sales pressure. This offer lowers the resistance by addressing fears head on. It adds urgency with the real-time incentive, and it makes the experience feel transparent and premium. So they drove urgency with the limited time bonus, and they eased pressure with the lifetime warranty and soft sales. So those were my 3 examples of just when you have a good offer and you hit all the marks, it works. So now you've created your offer. You're using the 3S formula. And how do you know if it's working? That's where the EmoryDay dashboard comes in. So you want to start with A/B testing. You'll want to test different versions of your offer, different calls to actions, bonus add-ons, headlines, and see which message actually drives conversions. After that, step 2 is tracking what converts. And everybody should be using a CRM to do that. You're not just looking at clicks. You're watching quote starts or form completions, calendar bookings, that's our favorite. And our dashboard tracks it so you can see which angle is pulling its weight. Step 3, optimization. If one version of the offer is outperforming the others, you shift your ad spend there. If something's flat, we replace it. Everything is built to be responsive. And finally, once we know what's working, we scale it across platforms, verticals, even locations. You don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. You just repeat what works and watch your conversions go up. So I have, this is the part where we open it up to you. We do a Q&A. Tell us how we can help you. And it doesn't have to necessarily be about just crafting an offer. And I do have a Google Doc coming your way afterwards that has great ChatGPT prompts that will help you build this. So I did one for boosted meta posts, which is Facebook and Instagram. I did one for your hero section of your website, so you can sort of get a little help freshening that up. And then one for Google search, get a few search ads going using all of these pieces in your campaigns. So I will be sending that off to you guys in a little bit.
Great job, Anne-Marie. So
Thank
Sarah, I couldn't help but looking at, the different kind of email addresses on the call, and you one of your products is Fun Studio, right?
Sorry, I've got to find the mute button. Yeah, Fun Studio. That's our software system that we provide.
I love it. I'm absolutely kind of a rabid fan. You guys serve hedge funds, commodity traders, portfolio managers, family offices. Anything we can kind of, chit chat about in terms of, how to best target your folks?
No, I think Anne-Marie pretty much nailed it with you've got to be very specific with the problem. So, and they have a lot of different problems. So it's kind of trying to figure out the timing of which problem to throw at them at the right time. And they just hear so much from the industry as well. It's like you kind of get into the wash with everybody else. So even if you are picking the right pain point, it can get lost in all the other noise.
So if I can share with you, we've got some wonderful businesses on it. We've got Alex from Say It With Stitches. Alex, it's wonderful to have you on the call. One of the things we found, Sarah, that really helps cut through the noise today is that leverages off of Anne-Marie's conversation about landing pages is we are doing a tremendous amount of VSLs, video sales letters, that pick apart some of the individual components of what you do. Now, Fun Studio, it sounds like by just taking a quick glance at it is an amazing tool, hands down. And you guys do trade and order caption, capture allocations, cash management, shadow, and NAV, general ledger, all of that. As you know, as we apply kind of the 3S problem inside of that, on face value, it's hard for people to really understand the complexity that your platform provides. So one of the things we found tremendous success with is taking components of that and building a 60-second to 2-minute video that really creates a combination of something that creates compelling interest and education. And then as you put a series of these videos together, all hooked into an interactive survey followed by scheduling, you get a chance to really find the hot button of those individual target audiences. So if I'm a family office manager, right, I've got a different kind of thought process than a commodity trader. And as you know, what we're trying to do is kind of find the hot button inside of our prospect audience and bring them into a conversation with us. So anytime you want to chat with that, or I'd love to continue the kind of like having just some chit chat conversation, because I really do love this stuff. Any particular questions?
Yeah, I mean, we focus more on hedge funds and commodity trading advisors, and like you say, they have different thoughts and needs and things going on, and it's trying to get a minute of their day. It's trying to get that conversation scheduled. That's the hardest part, I would say. And some of them will even come to the website and they'll show interest, and you'll respond, within 30 minutes, and it just gets ghosted again. So it's yeah, very difficult to really pin people down.
If I can share some thoughts, and I offer them very humbly, it's from our perspective. I want to unpack two of the pieces of that conversation. Again, our only goal is to kind of help people and spread a little bit of knowledge and joy and success in the world. On your current website, you have a request for a demo, but it currently goes to a form.
And actually, we've revamped our whole website and we are moments away from publishing it. And pretty much every page is going to have a call to action. So yes, it's going to go through a major transformation.
So humbly, and I share this just humbly, the statistics will bear out that if you'll take that requested demo and convert it from a form to an integration with something like Calendly. We love Calendly. There's also other software programs like Acuity and whatnot. I think you're going to find something super fantastic. So when someone's requesting a demo now on a form base, obviously you just said the one thing that we hear so often. We responded within minutes and we still can't get them on the phone. So we've almost exclusively or inclusively, I'm not sure what the word is, converted all of our customers, who will let us, to scheduling directly onto their calendar. And I'm a big fan because we have experienced the exact same thing you have. The biggest difference is a form submission. You're kind of sending that email, making that phone call, and it goes something like this. Hey, Sarah, this is Joe. Listen, I've left a couple messages. I've sent you a couple emails. Would you pick up the phone, please? You just filled out the form like 5 minutes ago.
Right.
So, but one of the things I found, again, very humbly, is scheduling onto a calendar. Then it's like, hey, Sarah, I'm super excited about our meeting in an hour, right? Let us know. And then you get all those calendar invites. And Sarah, you're a real person with real priorities and commitments. You're going to show up to a meeting that you schedule, but you may not respond to follow up to a form. So anyway, I've kind of hammered that
that's
one.
a very good point. Yeah, I have actually thought about linking it straight to the calendar, and that's a tool we should look into using. So I think that's a great point.
So Calendly's $19. And if you go and look at your analytics and you look at all the requested demos that you had over, like, just say the last 6 months, you could say that 80% of those would show up to the meeting. So if you look at your response rate and the ultimate end of the goal, how many people filled out the form, 80% of those show up to a meeting. So I humbly say, let's do that. That's a huge takeaway for today. And then I'm going to say this next piece, and Alex has heard me preach this. Bob, you're new to this message. Anne-Marie has heard me say this more times than she cares to think. Let's talk about your fund manager. Let's talk about your commodities traders, right? So a good friend of mine is Sean Tobin. He's with Lehman Brothers. He's in Deutsche Bank. I live vicariously through his conversations. They work hard when the bell starts, and they're off when the bell ends. Okay, plus or minus, right? Very focused group. How do you get their attention? I'm going to tell you exactly how. You do a VSL, video sales letter, 60, 90 minutes. That's going to lock them in. Seconds.
Joe would go for 90 minutes if we
I'd go for, I'm long-witted.
Yeah.
Emory knows that.
Seconds. Just remember that.
Okay. Then we don't put it on LinkedIn. We
People
put it on.
check in at LinkedIn. They do not hang out on LinkedIn.
And Anne-Marie tends to finish my sentences.
And I feel strongly about LinkedIn.
Yes. So we put it on Meta, which is Facebook and LinkedIn, because they're individuals with birthdays, with kids, with social relationships, with everything. And then what we do is we target them based on their industry and their interests. And we overlay these two targeting points. So we're speaking right directly to them. But then we add a third variable. We add a custom audience. So we take all of our sales prospects, all of our customer database, the ones that we want to proactively market to, all of our account-based marketing lists, and we upload it into Meta, and we get a 60% match. That means we can literally take 1,000 people, use their B2B addresses, upload them to Meta. Meta's going to find their personal accounts for 600 of that 1,000. So now we have the trifecta. We have the industry. So we've targeted them by job title and by industry. We have their interest in trading. Then we have their actual names, and we're targeting them. Now, when that commodity trader is sitting there with a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning, relaxed and calm, all of a sudden, Fund Studio comes in and says, as a commodity trader, one of your number one challenges is this. Your second challenge is that. And we found at Fund Studio, we're able to do this and make your life easier. And if you'd like to learn more, just go ahead and click the button down below. And as they click the button, they go into a narrow hallway. And that narrow hallway is an interactive survey where they answer 2, 3, 4, 5 in specific questions. What best describes you? Are you a fund manager? Are you a commodity trader? Are you a family office? I'm a commodity trader. Great. Let's ask more questions about your specific needs. And we're amping up their interest, and they drop onto a form, and they want to give us their information because we've asked them all the right questions for stuff they're passionate about. And when they submit that form, ding, 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 we ring the bell, but it gets better. They then schedule directly onto your calendar. Now, to just kind of put this into perspective, this is the way EmoryDay does 80% of all of our new business acquisition. And this month, in the last 30 days, was it 270 or 290?
Oh, I have to look at our
Okay. Well, let's just call it 270 meetings scheduled onto our calendars. And not expensive. Very reasonably, a very reasonable price. But the reason why it works so well, and sorry, Sarah, I do get passionate about this stuff, is we're able to talk to them outside of work. So they're relaxed and they're ready to engage. Number two, we're speaking to them in video as opposed to all the other medium. So they don't have to read, they just consume. Number three, we really do a great job with making sure we take that little interest, that thumb click, right? We turn that thumb click into a meeting with you, or you can. This is something you can do yourselves. But for what it's worth, 2 humble recommendations. Number one, schedule directly on the website. Number 2, if you really want to get into a lot of conversations with a lot of your target audience, you can't beat the VSL the way we described it there. Hopefully that wasn't
great
too
to
much.
know. Yeah, it sounds like you've had a lot of success with it. Thank you for the recommendation. That's good to know.
Absolutely. You'll have our contact information. We're happy to kind of do that a little bit more on a one-to-one. Alex has heard me preach that, strategy many, many, many times over. And I only preach it because it works and we use it every day. So thank you for letting me share. Any other questions for anybody on the call? Bob, anything? Alex, anything? Well, I'll say this as an offer. I do a lot of speeches on the side. We do about marketing. We do this bi-weekly webinar series. Anne-Marie and I are always in front of the camera talking to people. It's a free opportunity to get on our calendar for an hour, and with very little pitching. We love to talk about business models. We love to tear them down. I think Alex and I have done that a couple times. If there's a reason for us to work together, it will surface. And in the meantime, let's just keep everybody moving down the line. We live in the greatest society mankind's ever been invented. I'll share with you one more kind of a quote on the way out. There's a quote. A gentleman said, "This is the golden age that mankind has been dreaming of for thousands of years." It's attributed to Alexander Graham Bell, and he was talking about the invention of the telephone in the late 1800s. So the people on this call have had the fortune, even if it's a little nervous now, to live through two of the biggest technology revolutions we're ever going to see in our lifetime until we tackle faster than light travel, the internet and AI. So it truly is the golden age. It's a great time to be doing this stuff. I'm going to say thank you from me, Anne-Marie.
Yes, thank you guys. Great time. Great questions, great conversation. Love it.
Thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Be good.
Of course.
Hopefully our paths cross. We do this every other week, so come and join us again. Different topic, same high energy, good motivation. So thank you guys.
Great.
Take
Thank
care
you.
of yourselves.
Have
All
a
right.
great weekend,
Thanks.
guys.
Be good.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.